Hello, you guys. Welcome to episode 7 of the Food Freedom Confidence discussions. I am Hannah Hips. This is Sierra Spencer. We are donut loving, veggie eating, eating psychology coaches, diet recovery coach, yoga instructor, and we are here to be your guide and your host today for these discussions. So if you are ready to end the cycle, the yo-yo cycle of dieting, and really create freedom with food, this is the place. You are in the right place. If you are new to this group, welcome. We are so glad that you are here. And if you're watching live, say hello to us. We want this to be a conversation. This is a discussion. It allows us, the more that we can share and the more we can discuss this, the more that we can take in the information, right? And we can actually be a participating part of this, I say, evolution, or this movement of really having peace with food. So today we are discussing why willpower has nothing to do with being healthy. And I wanted to take a moment to define willpower. I was looking it up right before this call, and it says control exerted to do something or restrain impulses. Okay, so willpower actually takes a lot of energy, right? And it also made me think, can we restrain from something that goes against our biology? Which brings the fact of, like, what does dieting can't fight biology mean? So are we going against biology? Is that a willpower thing? Or is that just straight up biology saying you can't fight me? And so let's talk about dieting for a moment. Dieting is a form of short-term starvation. Okay, we talk about dieting a lot, and we talk about the effects of dieting in this group a lot because we want you to understand what it is doing to your body, what it is doing to our innate nature, right? So it is not about willpower. You can't willpower your way through a diet or weight loss because dieting goes against biology. It is not natural. Yep. So the reason why you can't control yourself around food, it's not lack of willpower, right? But your body trying to save you from starvation. All your body wants to do is survive. And if we are starving it, reducing the calories, that's putting it in that starvation. And your body doesn't know. It doesn't know the difference that you're trying to lose a couple pounds to fit into your jeans. It thinks that you're on a desert island. So when you go to a party and there's abundance of food, think of the holidays coming up, you can't control yourself around food because your eyes see all of the food and your body's like, give me that food, right? In the moment of biological hunger, all intentions to diet and the desire to be thin flies out the window because you can't override your biology. Biology equals can't override your brain out of survival response or your natural instincts to take over. So while intense eating may feel out of control and unnatural, like the whole crazy feeling obsession, right? But it actually is a normal response from the body due to dieting and thinking it's starving.
I love that definition of willpower. Like, you're going against an instinct. You guys, we have an instinct to eat. Or guess what? If you override your instinct to eat, you're going to starve and die. That's why the instinct is very intense to eat, because your body is, again, like Hannah said, your body doesn't know the difference between trying to lose a couple pounds to fit into your jeans and it is trying to survive. Your body and your brain, your biology does not know the difference. So if we look at like some research around this, okay, when you look at dieting and eating as not having willpower, or you are like, basically think about what happens after a diet. Right after a diet, You feel like you're decreasing this trust, because what happens after you go on a diet is that you gain the weight back typically. And then you erode that trust with yourself because you're like, oh my gosh, I can't do this. Why can't I stick to this? So every time you gain the weight back after a diet, you feel guilty, you feel shame, you label yourself as like, I'm crazy, I can't control myself. And again, you start to erode your own trust with yourself. You think you have a problem, but guess what? You don't have a problem. Like Hannah said, this is completely normal. It is completely normal to eat your face off after a diet. Your body thinks it's starving. Okay. You're blaming yourself when it's not your fault. It's the diet. It's diet culture that's your fault. When your body is starving, it needs to be nourished. So when you are underfed and you're not getting enough, you will obsess about food. You will. Okay. Whether you're on a desert island and you're starving, you're going to obsess about food, or whether you're purposely restricting and dieting, you will obsess about food. So if you feel obsessed about food and you're thinking about food all the time, you can bet 100% that your survival response has been activated. So again, this is kind of tricky because eating for the name of health can look the same as dieting. Okay. Same food issues with this, same food things, same issues that are going to happen, whether you're trying to get healthy. There is a way to get healthy without putting your body into survival response. And that's what Hannah and I teach. We teach you how to be healthy without activating a dieting response, which is what you don't want, which is where that yo-yo dieting comes from. And again, like you might not even be following a specific diet, but your mind might still be stuck in diet mentality with rules and labeling food and like good and bad and all or nothing mentality. Those can promote all that diet mentality thinking, can also promote eating challenges, overeating, binge eating, emotional eating. Okay.
Yeah. So think about this, like what would happen if we got our body out of that starvation and that stress or like that survival response? What do you think would happen to our eating? Like just ponder that for a minute. What would happen to our willpower if we were not in that stress state? And that's like what we teach is like to help you get out of the stress state and out of the survival response so that you can begin to change and have positive, healthy behaviors. This is what we hear all the time of like, I want healthy behaviors. I want healthy behaviors. Well, in order to have healthy behaviors, that is number one. We have to change the state of our automatic nervous system. Okay. So I'm going to tell you, what can we do? So first, recognize these self-critical dieting voices. So it's a voice in your head. It's not you. All of the things that you've heard, all the things that your parents have said, what media said, those are all kind of just like filtered and they become different voices, right? They're not your true deep knowing. They're just voices that you heard, but kind of get us stuck in this like diet mentality and this all or nothing mentality. And I have no willpower. I'm a failure. That's not your true voice. So when you think about this, like, so the voices that come up, and this is kind of a example, is when you worry about what people are thinking about your eating, when you view food as the enemy, when you describe your eating as good or bad, when we begin to like filter out these little voices that are like, oh, that's good, that's bad. Oh my God, what are people thinking about this? I'm being judged. When we can kind of remove those and we pay attention to these voices without judgment and replace them with more positive thoughts. For example, I'm working with healing my relationship with food. Yeah. Doesn't that feel like light and good? Instead of this constant voice, if you're not good enough, oh, people are watching you. Oh, don't eat that. That's bad. That doesn't feel so good. But if you're telling yourself, I'm working on healing my relationship with food, that means you're taking the small steps. You are recognizing that you are working in that direction, a place of food freedom.
Yep, that's probably one of the most powerful tools you have, is just recognizing that diet mentality, that critical diet voice, and then being able to start practicing, like that phrase Hannah said, like, I'm working on healing my relationship with food. Replace those negative thoughts with one positive one, to help to start to change your mindset. Again, this is all about mindset changing. And that's why typical diet programs and Whole30s and 30-day challenges and all of that don't work, because they don't address the root cause of diet mentality, and they don't address getting your body out of survival mode. Okay, it doesn't matter what you eat and how like perfect you are or following whatever that is. If your body is stuck in a state of survival, you will not be able to change and be able to make those big changes you want to have a relationship with food and your body that is easy and peaceful. Okay. Clients and our empowered eating members who practice our empowered eating framework have huge success with these negative diet mentalities and beliefs. They just fade into the background and eventually disappear. So here's your homework. Here's your love work, as we like to say in our programs. We want you to take one belief that you have around food, and we want you to rewrite it into a positive one. So here's an example. I can't control myself around food, or I can't control myself around sugar. Okay, that's the negative belief. Rewriting into a positive belief would be, I can choose foods that make me feel nourished, or I'm working on healing my relationship with food is another good one. Okay, we would love you to post this in the group, and we have a little prize. If you post your negative belief, turning it into a positive belief in the group, you're going to win your very own copy of the Intuitive Eating Workbook. This is a book that we highly recommend to all of our clients, and you will get it for free sent to your house when you take one of your negative beliefs, turn it into a positive one, and post it to share with the group. So we can't wait to see some of these. If you need help, if you're like, okay, here's my negative belief, but I still need help changing it to a positive one, Hannah and I are really good at creating affirmations, and we will help you change that negative one into a positive one. You can still post it and be like, I need help. So thank you guys so much. We hope this was helpful for you, and we can't wait to see your love work. Bye.
Bye.